Alright everybody, we're going to do it this way. It looks like since the season change, the Game Heart mod is not working for some reason, so we'll do it this way. Let's see if I can remember how to use this mod. Alright, so spawning down in the 6 o'clock position of merry-go-round in game 1 of this best of 3 is our red Protoss player, HyperTurtle. And spawning in the upper right-hand corner of merry-go-round is our blue Protoss player. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Our blue Protoss player, Zell. So this is a match from the round of 16, so that's why you haven't seen it on the list of things to do for today. We're waiting on Zell to arrive for his match against Atticus. And once we get him in here, we'll exit out of here and cast that match. So, having said that, I say this: we will watch this and have a good time. So, starting here is a gateway opener for both players, both Protoss players. And I'll be honest, PvP is not really a Protoss player. I've played it a little bit in some of our clan games, but I haven't. Laddered hard with it or anything. And so PvP is probably the one matchup that I'm least familiar with, so if I don't offer a whole lot of insight into what we're seeing, I apologize. Both players are going for almost an identical opening with both gas and a gateway. And otherwise building probes. So both players with almost identical builds and identical economies at the moment. Cybercore goes down for Zell just a little bit earlier than HyperTurtle. He just finished his gateway, so we should expect to see, there goes his Cybercore right behind. So when they say it's a mirror matchup, I guess these two guys are taking it seriously. Second gateway going down now for Zell. Checking for proxies over here with his probe. Taking him out for a little spin. This is the Older Gamers 1v1 elimination tournament, brought to you by no one in particular. If you are on stream and not a member of Older Gamers, you can visit TOGSC2.com. We're open to all players 25 years of age and older. Yes, we do discriminate by age. We just don't like all you young kids. You make us feel old, and we just prefer to make each other feel old. So, if you are over 25 and on stream and not a member of the Older Gamers, please visit that website, TOGSC2.com. So we see a Stalker coming out for both players. Actually, two Stalkers coming out here. One Chrono Boost on one of the gateways for Zell. So it looks like Stalker openings for both players. Two more gateways coming down now for HyperTurtle. And a third gateway now in production. No, I lie. Twilight Council in production for Zell. I see a Robo on the production tab now for HyperTurtle as well. Forward pylon going down for Zell. So, warp gate about 2/3 of the way complete for Zell, as a third gateway comes down. So it looks like we're going to have, judging by the Stalkers that we have on the field, the forward pylon, the Twilight Council that's just now finishing up, and warp gate technology. We should be seeing some blink play, or DT play as it were. So forward pylon going down, that's going to not do great things for HyperTurtle. As the Stalkers come in, Sentry gets a good force field off, makes him go around. Focusing down on the Mothership Core. Mothership Core is going to go down. Microing back the Stalker is Zell. As Warp Gate is finished, third gateway is now finished for Zell, and the Dark Templar Shrine is about halfway finished at this point. So Zell with good micro on his Stalkers doesn't lose a single one, and starts to go to work on the probes. Two probes down now. Third probe. So it looks like we still are getting some of the overlay features of the game heart with the worker count here, the icons on the gateways, Just a little different look, again, because the when the season split, what did I do? When the season split and went to Season 1 for 2015, some of the updates allowed the features for game hard to disable. So 5 probes lost in that exchange for HyperTurtle. Loses a couple pylons and finds himself supply blocked. DT's now being warped in by Zell, walking up the ramp of the natural where there is no base. Natural going down right now for Zell as he comes in with some Dark Templars going to work on a pylon, and this one coming back here to take out this pylon, which is working on +1. Nope, we're going to go into the probe line. No detection out at all for our red Protoss HyperTurtle, so these DTs should do quite a bit of work. And there's GG. So a quick first game goes the way of Zell in this best of 3. Alright, I have not heard or seen, let me check my friends list. Nope, no Zell on my friends list, so we will go ahead and move on to game 2 in the best of 3 between Zell and HyperTurtle. This one's going to take place on Deadwing. Deadwing is one of the holdover maps from last season into the new ladder season for 1v1. And the first time that we've seen it in this tournament. So spawning here in the upper right-hand portion of Deadwing, down 1-0 in this best of 3, is our blue Protoss player, HyperTurtle. And looking to close this one out with a very efficient 2-0, but not if HyperTurtle has anything to say about that, is our green Protoss player, Zell. So DT's doing some work in game 1, making quick work of a match when there was no detection on the map for our other Protoss player. Again, both players starting almost identically. A little bit of a timing difference. Zell's a little more efficient with what he's got going on. He'll complete his pylon a little bit sooner. He'll complete his probe a little bit sooner. But for the most part, everything is status quo for these two players. First gateway now going down for Zell. Should soon see... Oh, HyperTurtle's going to move out here and scout maybe? Okay. He's going to go scout and drop a gateway over here behind. So scout starts a little earlier for HyperTurtle. He's going the wrong way though, as you can see the green line pointing his probe over into this corner here, and then down into this corner before making his way over here. So... 2 gases coming down for Zell. No gas yet for HyperTurtle. Another probe coming out looking for pylons. And yep, just kind of checking out around his base to make sure there's nothing funny going on. Cybercore coming down for Zell. Second gateway coming in for HyperTurtle, as well as... There it is right there, as well as a Zealot coming out on the field. So first unit coming down for HyperTurtle, while Zell continues to produce probes. Cyberking gateway on the way now as well. First Stalker coming out for Zell. Second scouting probe going to come in and see exactly where Zell's at and what he's got going on. Gateway finishes up, and third gateway now in production for HyperTurtle. Still no gas for HyperTurtle yet, so looks like he's committing to Zealots a little bit. Stalker's going to take care of this scouting probe for HyperTurtle, but Turtle's going to see everything that there is to see down here in this base. Yeah, he saw. Well, I didn't see the second gas. So we'll see if that makes a difference here. Zealot takes care of the scouting probe for Zell, as the third gateway finishes up for HyperTurtle. 2 probes lost. The first one, there's the 2 scouting probes, so no harassment in the mineral line or anything like that. 3 gateways with Zealot production and nothing but minerals right now for first gas now coming down here at the 5-minute mark for HyperTurtle. Chrono Boost coming out on both gateways, even though that one's not producing anything, as Chrono Boost runs out. So, Robo Facility now coming down for Zell to go along with his 2 gateways. Couple stalkers on the map. Here comes 3 Zealots across the map. And a couple more behind, so see if he's going to rally them together and come in as a unit. With nothing but stalkers on the field, though, in this mothership core, he should be able to kite this. Zell should, and not lose a whole lot. So he rallies them to this point. I'm guessing that these 2 are going to come and follow him. More Zealots streaming across the map now for HyperTurtle. Walk up with 5 Zealots against 3 Stalkers and a Mothership Core. This should be no problem for these Stalkers. Is he going to lose one? Is he paying attention? Oh, he's going to get it back. Okay, yep, he's going to micro his units back. While the Zealots run right on by. Not going to take any swipes at this Stalker trailing here. Is he going right for the mineral line? Seems like he should have taken shots at the Zealots. So he's going to lose some mining time here. I think he lost a probe. Time Warp comes down now. A couple more Zealots joining the fight. A couple of Zealots being warped in for Zell as well. So Zealot's continuing to stream down the map for HyperTurtle. Loses 2 probes. So not a great exchange for HyperTurtle, taking out just 2 probes. 3 probes. 3 probes lost for Zell. Zealot coming in and hacking away at this pylon. Really should have taken it out. I think he could have gotten it with that one Zealot. 2 more Zealots coming down here. 2 more Zealots here. So nothing but Zealots. Got some gas, but no Cyber Core yet for HyperTurtle. So he's pretty strongly committed to Zealots at this point, and I don't know how that's going to fare against a little more complex army for Zell. Stalkers are going to do a little work. Got Zealots of his own. It looks like he might lose a Stalker. Is it going to fall? Nope, he's going to get it out of there and not lose anything. So 15 units to 4 lost for HyperTurtle. Not a statistic you want to be leading in. More Zealots coming in now for HyperTurtle. There they are. Well, here's 3 of them back here. 2 more joining the party. 3 more joining the party. Still no Cyber Core. So Zealots and probes, Zealots and probes. At this point for HyperTurtle, as Zell has taken the supply lead at 52. Found himself supply blocked a little bit. Gonna go to work on the natural of HyperTurtle here. As HyperTurtle brings his probes in to do a little bit of work. And loses 3, loses 4, loses all 5 that were there. Zealots hacking at whatever they can get their hands on. Taking out 1 Zealot, taking out another Zealot. Don't know if he's going to be able to get this immortal. And here come the probes. Here come the probes. Ran out of Zealots. Let's go attack with probes. That is 8, 16, 21 probes coming down the field. Minerals and gas in hand. I don't know if they're going to use those as bomb material or they just want to hang out with them for a little while. Zell cleans this out here at the base as the probes come in. Start zapping away at the probes of Zell. 3, 5. 5 probes lost down here at the natural. 7 probes as the army comes back now to defend. And probes surround the Nexus and start to go to work on the Nexus. That Nexus doesn't have a whole lot left. It's losing shields very, very rapidly. And the shields are gone on the Nexus. and the army's a little ways away. Folks, I think we're seeing a first here. I think this is a StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm first. Nexus being killed by probes. And there it is. Zealots have a little something to say about that, and the cavalry gets back in time to survey the damage left by the war probes of HyperTurtle. So when I said this was going to be a PvP, I thought Protoss versus Protoss, not probe versus probe, but that's what we have here. As you can see, the worker count, the worker death toll over here on the left-hand side, 12 to 6, 13 to 7, 13 to 8, HyperTurtle down to 19 supply, 17, 18, 19, 21. I think that's the count that I had coming across before. Zealots coming back to the base. 14 supply left for HyperTurtle, 3 of which is in probes. 4 if you count the one that's building, which I guess you have to because that's counted. 21 probes lost in that exchange. Hey, but they got a Nexus out of it, so I don't... Somebody can do the math. I don't know that that's the best trade in the world, but there you go. So the 4 probes that were remaining are being pulled, coming down with these 5 zealots. So we've got 5 zealots and 4 probes that are going to try to be heroes and take out what I think he feels is an inferior army for Zell. So we'll see if these if he's got a map pack working for him, or how exactly he plans on doing this HyperTurtle. But I think that this is all over but the GG, if you ask me. I think it was all over but the GG a long time ago. Yep. So here comes what might be left of it. Let's watch the supply count. 14 supply for HyperTurtle. Nothing on the production tab. He's going to walk into the mineral line. Charge finished up for Zell. 12 supply. 10 supply. 6 supply. And there's the GG for HyperTurtle. So a very entertaining game 2 between Zell and HyperTurtle. And even if HyperTurtle didn't win, he got the moral victory with the Death Probe assault on the natural of Zell, taking it down for show, as we come to find out at this point. So, congratulations to Zell, but spoiler alert, it was already on the other screen. We knew that Zell was going to advance, as he has a match scheduled to start here as soon as